9 million plus combined followers, New York Times bestselling author, sold millions of books, billions of video views, #1 ranking educational podcast in the world. She's known for her TEDx talk, How to Stop Screwing Yourself Over, and her books, The 5-Second Rule and The High Five Habit, as well as the host of the Mel Robbins podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Mel Robbins.
Hey, Eric. Hi, everybody. It's Mel Robbins, and welcome to our Vermont studio. I just got off the set for the Mel Robbins podcast, and Eric asked me if I would jump on real quick and make this video for you and just talk about why you want to build a personal brand and how I think about it and what's worked for me. So yes, you should build a personal brand, and here's why. Products are basically commodities. Services are commodities. What differentiates you and builds trust and builds loyalty is the personal brand. And so I'm going to explain what I think a personal brand is. I'm going to talk about 3 mistakes that everybody makes when they start building their personal brand and putting themselves out there or shifting their personal brand, and 3 things that you're going to do to not make those mistakes. So I want you to think about a personal brand as nothing more than the style in which you do things. That's it. The style in which you do things. You could be slick. You could be homespun. You could be the kind of person that's like always leading with kind of the before and after shots. You could be somebody who's intellectual. This is about you and how you want to be perceived in the world. And that brings me to the first mistake that people make. And I even brought notes because this is so important. So the first mistake that people make, and that you probably are making, because I made this mistake, is trying to be someone that you're not. That is never going to work. And there's a number of reasons why. Number one, in today's world, people can sniff out a phony a million miles away. And you're not going to do that. The second reason why it never works for you to be someone you're not is because you know that you're being inauthentic, which means your anxiety and stress and nerves are going to be through the roof. The imposter syndrome is going to blow the lid off any performance, and you are always going to feel like you're never quite getting what you want. And that's because you're not being yourself. And so I've got 2 questions that I want you to ask yourself that will help you really dial into being you. And the first question to ask yourself is this: what do I want people to say about me when I walk out of the room? Simple question. What do you want people to say about you when you walk out of the room? What they say about you is your personal brand. And for me, if I really drill down and answer that for myself, I want people to say, you know what I like about Mel? She's real. What I like about Mel is that she has this knack for simplifying things. What I like about Mel is she's really caring. And she's a, really smart person. Those are things that I hope someone says about me. I really relate to her. And I'm going to give you a second question that you need to ask, which is, how do you want people to feel after they've spent some time with you? You certainly don't want to give people the ick, right? Which is what you give people when you're not being yourself. And so I want you to think about that. How do you want people to feel after they've spent time with you? Like for me, I want people to feel inspired and empowered. I want people to feel cared for. I want people to feel this sense of, oh, I'm pretty clear about how to think about this thing or what I could do next. I want someone to feel hopeful. And so the reason why these 2 questions are so important, what do I want people to say when I leave the room? How do I want people to feel after I've hung out with them? Is because if you can answer that honestly, really, it would make you so proud if that's what people said, if that's how people felt. Now you have the roadmap for how to show up, because you're going to take all those attributes and you just now align everything you do with that list. And now you know how to show up. You know what the tone of your marketing is. You know what type of reels to make on social media. You know how to approach a selling situation. You know how you're going to do with things. And this is why there's such a wide range of how people approach business and how they approach building personal brands. You're never going to see me in before and after bikini photos. It's just not happening. That's not my brand. You might see the real photo right now, but that's not how I would sell something. But for some of you, that might be exactly how you sell something because it feels right for you. And again, that's why personal brands are so important, because they're personal. So we're not going to make that mistake of trying to be someone else. You're going to double down on your authenticity and who you are. Second mistake is questioning the value that you bring. When you first get started, or if you've been at it a while and you've plateaued at your business, it's natural and normal to start to question the value you bring. So I want to offer up this quote that I heard from a very dear friend of mine and of Eric's, a man you probably know and love. And I'm talking about none other. Oh my God, you guys, how the fuck did his name just fly out of my mind? Oh, okay, I got it. See, I'm being authentic. Ed Milet is literally, don't kill me, Ed. I'm having a menopause moment. And I hope, Eric, your team beeped out my swearing. But again, I'm just being me. You're hanging with your friend Mel. And don't you feel like you are? We're above the garage in Southern Vermont. I'm swearing I forgot my dear friend Ed's name. Just flew right out of my brain. And here's the thing that Ed said that I love. You ready? He said, you are best equipped to help the person you used to be. You are best equipped to help the person you used to be. You're in the business that you're in because you want to help people. Of course, you got financial goals. Of course, you have business goals, but your heart is in this thing. And so don't you dare question the value that you bring to the table, because you have all kinds of things. You have expertise, you have experience, you have knowledge, you have passion, you have your personal story, you have your personality. These are all things that you can tap into to help other people to build a business, to strengthen your brand. And so if you ever start to question the value you bring, I want you to understand you are best equipped to help the person you used to be. And if you are taking a quantum leap in business and you're playing in bigger stages or going for bigger deals or building a bigger team, here's what I want you to understand. You're still always helping the person you used to be in managing your team. And you also know that you have one skill set that is critical, and that is you can figure anything out. And so that is something I want you to remind yourself of. Okay. You have a ton of value in your story and your passion and your heart. And that's why you should never question the value and your ability to build what you want to build. And finally, in personal brand, stop being scared of everyone's opinion. Just stop it. You're not going to build a personal brand by trying to manage what people think about you. Now, I asked you that question. What do you want people to think and feel? That's a barometer for you. Whether or not they feel those things, that's not what you can control. You can only control how you show up. And that's why to build your personal brand, you got to stop looking at everybody else. You got to look deep within yourself. And I want you to actually use my let them theory. The let them theory. You need this because you have to let them have your brand. You have to let them think what they want to think. Your power is not in managing your customers or the opinions of other people or what people are going to think about your social media. Let them. And then step 2 of my let them theory is come back and focus on where you have power, which is let me. Let me show up in a way that is aligned with my core values and attributes. Let me do the work to build what I want to work. Let me show up in a way and make an impact that makes me proud. Because I'm going to tell you something. When you start to align yourself with that list of things you want people to feel and you hope that people see, and then you take a step back and you let them do whatever, but you stay laser focused on who you are and how you want to show up and the impact that you want to make, you're not going to care what anyone thinks. Because you're going to know the truth of who you are and you're going to be proud of how you're acting and the brand that you're building and the business that you're growing, because you are following that roadmap that I gave you and your actions and your thoughts and your intentions are aligned with those values that you created. So let them think what they want. Do not give your power away to other people's opinions. Post what you want, sell what you want, show your personality loud and proud, and you'll be shocked at what happens. And yes, Eric, I'm selling my new book right now. You're going to hear a lot about the let them theory from my friend Eric because you need this. Business has a lot of rejection and business has a lot of setback. And when you can learn to stop giving your power away to other people and focus on yourself and just let them, and then focus on you and what's in your control, you're going to be unstoppable, just like your friend Eric and just like your friend Mel Robbins. All right, Eric, I went over. I love you. Thanks for beeping the F-bomb that I dropped there. My apologies to our pal, Ed. I am so excited for you to read the Let Them Theory. I'm so excited for you to let other people have their opinions and unlock your power and unleash yourself and go do what you want to do with this one amazing life. All right, you guys. Mwah.